Good evening, everyone. My name is Walt Michael. I'm the Executive Director and founder of Common Ground on the Hill. We welcome you to our 27th year here on the campus of McDaniel College. Virtually this year, we are the Mid-Maryland Folklife Center under the auspices of the Maryland State Arts Council. And tonight we kick off 3 weeks, Traditions Weeks, 3 separate weeks of amazing classes and events. And to start things off, to set a tone for the work that we do, and to perhaps start conversations among all of us, we want to keep revisiting what we're going to learn tonight. I'd like to first introduce to you and let you know who our keynote speaker is. She's no stranger to Common Ground on the Hill. I first met AnaCe Velasquez when she was a graduate student at McDaniel College a number of years ago, and she graciously came in and volunteered in our office, and I think maybe even worked in our office. We may have paid her, tens of dollars even. But AnaCe became a very important part of the Common Ground community, not only in terms of working in the office, but in her later work in communities in Delaware, and bringing wonderful Spanish-speaking students to Common Ground on the Hill. Let me read you a little bit about AnaCe. AnaCe Cecilia Velasquez, is the country director of Marie Stopes International Bolivia, an NGO that works for women's holistic health and sexual and reproductive rights. She is a Bolivian national with a BA in sociology, a master's degree in human resources, and certificates in non-for-profit management and human rights. Those are a lot of skills to bring together. Aside from her management and human rights work, professional work, AnaCe is the flag bearer for Vital Voices in Bolivia, a program that fosters women empowerment through mentoring and network. Now, tonight's address will be quite an adventure. I'm really looking forward to this. We're going to see a lot about what makes up Bolivia and its arts. AnaCe is bringing to us Patricia Rodriguez, and the two of them will take you on a journey to Bolivia while visiting the marvelous places where their traditional crafts came from. And we have to understand Common Ground on the Hill is about the traditional arts. These are arts that let us look into cultures and find commonalities among us. If we can find those common points among us, then we can begin to have conversations and improve our lives with one another. From the Andes to the Amazon, they will explore traditional crafts while understanding what they represent for the sustainability of their communities in their current context. Hear firsthand tonight from the artisans and experience Bolivia through its soul and essence. So I'm going to get out of the way and let AnaCe take us to Bolivia. I must say, we really miss AnaCe here. She served on the board of directors for a number of years at Common Ground on the Hill, and now is one of the mainstays of our advisory board. So she's not lost to us. In fact, we just might get her back on the board one of these days. But welcome, AnaCe, all the way from Bolivia. We look forward to seeing and hearing what you have for us tonight.
Thank you, Walt. Thank you so much. What an honor to be here. I'm going to share my screen really quick. Just give me a holler when you can see it all. There we go. So thank you so much, Walt, my hippie boss, and Common Ground for the invitation to this evening. It is truly an honor to be part of this community that I love and miss so much. Before Patricia and I take you to this journey through Bolivia, Walt asked me to share a little bit with you about my experience of returning to Bolivia after being an immigrant in the US for many years. I spent 16 years in the US studying and working, and I got the fortune to work at Common Ground and also worked for the Latin immigrants. When my own immigration status became complicated, and work on programs that empower our most vulnerable opportunities I was given. Since then, I took a year off to travel through South America by myself, worked in sustainable development projects, started a mentoring program for women in Bolivia, and currently lead an organization that works for gender equality through access to contraception and sexual and reproductive health. Returning to Bolivia has been an incredible growing experience. In fact, I have to say, it has not been a return. It has been an arrival. A rediscovery of its beauty and its needs. It has not been easy. It took me a while to find a job and adjust to its bureaucracy. It has also been an overwhelming struggle for survival. We're trying to sustain their art and traditions. Bolivia has been going through a complex political time and was caught in the middle of it by the global pandemic without infrastructure or political stability to face it. So let me show you a couple pictures here of when I was, a little bit of what the country has been going through in these past 2 years, starting with our political crisis in 2019 and then the pandemic. So that is what Patricia and I want to share with you today. I'm fortunate to have met Patricia Rodriguez through the mentoring program I mentioned earlier. She's an amazing entrepreneur whose main purpose is to strengthen appreciation for Bolivian arts and crafts by engaging direct efforts for trade relationships. What we want today have to say about this. So we hope you enjoy this journey and get tempted to visit Bolivia soon. I'm going to start a little bit with the context of Bolivia. Very quickly, this is our country. It is right in the heart of South America. I'm going to move this in case it's getting on the way. It's right in the heart of South America, and it's landlocked. We do not have access to the ocean. We used to, but Chile took it away, so now we don't have access. That's a big deal here in Bolivia. We're a population of about 11.6 million. 3 main regions. This is important because our culture and arts really changed based on this region, which is very wild forestry and where the Amazon is. Then it's important to know that we have 36 different recognized ethnic groups, and we speak 4 languages: Spanish, Quechua, Aymara, and Guarani. Well, there are 4 official languages. I don't speak them all, unfortunately, but we also have 33 other tongues. So this is a snapshot of the Andean regions, and I'm very proud to say these are all our pictures between Patty and I. We have been very fortunate to travel a lot, and so these are the beautiful Andes and Lake Titicaca, and this is the Andean region. The Andean region is the highest. We range from 3,000 to 400 to 4,800 meters above sea level. So that's from 9,000 to 15,000 feet above sea level. This is 28% of the national territory, and the main cultures here are Maya and Quechua cultures. The Hija, which is now a very up and coming place for wine, altitude wines, which I really love. So the sub-Andean region ranges from 1,500 to 3,000. Most of Bolivia is pretty high up. 30% of the national territory. It's predominantly Quechua culture, and it's comprised with Cochabamba, Chuquisaca, and Tarija. Here you can see some of the different typical dresses from this region. Then we have the plains region. So this is where the Amazon is, and we have tremendous biodiversity here. It's really hot. It borders with Brazil. And the plains region ranges from 90 to, and it's most of our country. It's predominantly Guarani, Cruz, Beni, and Pando. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview, as it is important to today. I'm really happy to tell you that we're going to visit all Cochabamba, but right close with the border with Oruro, and we're going to meet Don Patricio. Then we're going to fly over to Chuquisaca, where you're going to meet Doña Santuza y Damián. They are artisans from Chuquisaca in the town called Candelaria. And then we're going to move to meet Juan Carlos in Urubicha, in San Miguel Velasco. So then we have a little surprise bonus places that we're going to visit. And that's over here. I'm not going to tell you where yet, so that it's a surprise. And then over here. So that's the journey. As you can see, so this is going to be a teaser so that you want to come to Bolivia. So I'm going to hand over the microphone to, oops, I'm so sorry, 1 second. Just 1 second, as Patty, just let me, 1 second. Okay, so just give me 1 second as I realize the version of that presentation is not
the latest.
The right one. 1 second. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Walt, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. There always has to be technical. So, okay, here we go. All right.
There we go.
Okie dokie. Okay, Patty, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna. Well, hi, nice meeting you all. And nice, I'm so happy to share with you what AnaCe was talking about, take you through this journey through Bolivia. And we didn't want you to learn about handcrafts history through us or from us, because you can find it on the internet or read it on other books or magazines or whatever. But what we would like to do is to introduce you to the culture, living culture right now. What's going on in Bolivia and what is actually living now, okay? And we picked 3 groups of artisans that we work with, and we wanted to take you to their way of living, so you get to understand what they do for living and where the textiles come from, and not only understand what this is a kind of art they have, not for their sustaining or economic income, but also a way of showing their culture, okay? And we want you to know first from them. We have very small videos, so you get to see how they speak, where they live from, and also get their excitement in their voices. So first of all, we will talk about Patricio Mamani. Don Patricio, he is one of the handcraftsmen that works on the Andean handcrafts organization that is called Arte Andino, or Andean Art Association. And this association actually, I don't know, AnaCe, if I have the information, if it's coming, or should I just click on here? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have it all here. This association is located in Uyuni. Uyuni, it's an community located at 4,300 meters above sea level. It's very high, very, very high. It's hard to breathe there. And life there is not very easy. It's difficult. And well, what these artisans do for living is actually they dedicate themselves to agriculture, and not for sustaining themselves by selling it, but for living, like for their own consumption. And when they don't have things they grow there, they exchange it in a way that it's a very ancient way as well, that is called bearing. No sé si me ayudas con el término, no sé. That it's like an exchange from product to product with one community or another. We used to do that, and some communities.
It's trading, yeah.
Trading, yeah. There's a word for explaining this trading that I wrote it down here. Barter.
Trueque.
Trueque, barter.
Okay, barter.
Barter is not common anymore, but in these communities that are very ancient and they haven't been globalized, they still use it. So that's their context. That's what they live. They grow potatoes and some of beans, and they exchange it with the communities that are around them. Okay, and this association actually is conformed of 1,000 producers or handcraftsmen that they almost do the same for living. And these 1,000 producers are not only located in Uyuni community, but also in the community that is next to them, that is called AnaCe. You will hear from Patricia explaining this with the subtitles in the video. And what they do in their handcrafts is expressing what they see in the landscapes. They have been taught these techniques generation by generation. It's ancient techniques where they used to shape the sheets and dye naturally with the colors that they imitate by looking at their scenarios around them. Okay, and so you get to see the textiles now in the pictures. Those are colors that are from the altiplano, that is the highest lands, and are colors from like the flowers of quinoa and the colors of other kind of cereals that they have there. Also the coca leaves, that is this kind of greens that you're seeing in the pictures over here. And in this table placemate. And what they do is actually experience with there is a little bug that it's in the cactus, and it's called cochinilla. And what they experience is to let them boil. I mean, the wool with the bug, and also or with the leaves or other herbs they use to dye the wool. And what they do is to recycle the water, so they get different colors of, for instance, pink. Or what they do is to combine with lemon, so they have these beautiful colors. And what they try to imitate is what they are seeing in their landscape. So it's pretty exciting. And my job is to find these kind of unique textiles in Bolivia. Walisuma is a store. It's a brand for distribute, commercialize this kind of high-end products in Bolivia. And I'm speaking about these handcrafts as a high-end products because they are, I would say, about to disappear. Actually, this association has been working with some cooperation, Danish cooperation, to find markets and to reinforce what they do as an association. And but the good things about them is that they are very original, and they don't study trends on the internet or fashion trends. They are very ethnic. And it's, for me, I want to share this small experience that it has happened to me 2 years ago. But the owner, not the owner, the curator for the Hugo Boss brand visited our store in Bolivia, and this is the handcrafts that blow his mind off, because he was looking for something very original to take and combine with their textiles and their fashion trends and their designings. And they found these association products, the Art Andino products, in our store, and that's what they took it to back to France. So it's when these producers ask me for advice for trends or colors, I always tell them, I won't teach you those things because you're very original. And we love to share these with the world, because this is what our culture is kept. And it's not being fusion or combined with other, how do you say, techniques or trends, design trendings. And we love to see the way they are. We love to let them express what they see, they feel. And well, you see, you're seeing it in the pictures. I want you to listen, Patricio Mamani, and with this small video of an interview Ana Cecilia and myself done for this speech right now.
Estoy en una de las provincias, en provincias que es Tapacari, pero la Asociación de Artesanos Andinos implica abarca a dos municipios. Uno es Tapacari, el otro es Arque, ¿no? Eso es un poquito en tema de la que es donde estamos. Ahora, la organización de Asociación de Artesanos Andinos nace en el año 2004. La asociación tiene actualmente 3 centros artesanales, ¿no? Los cuales serían, uno es Uyuni, que es mi pueblo, después Aramací y Totorapampa, que está en el municipio Arque. 2001 se construye, se equipa con unos pequeños, en realidad no se equipa mejores, más bien se hacen mejoras en telares del piso, que actualmente nosotros hacemos tejido telar en piso, después telares a pedal. Se hace mejora, ¿no? Es decir, antes podías tejer, ponle una mantilla en unos 2-3 días, pero con la mejora de nuestros telares se hace, digamos, 1 por día, algo así. Nuestro principio es, esa vez, y seguimos teniendo, es primeramente rescatar y revalorizar nuestra cultura andina de Cochabamba, porque aquí en departamento Cochabamba solo tienen 3 provincias realmente con esta vestimenta que ahorita estoy utilizando. Se hace Bolívar, Tapacari y Arque. algo de Sicaya municipio, pero ya un poco, ya son un poquito más ya civilizando, ya, ¿no? Allá. Entonces, es cuando yo un poquito puedo desglosar cuando empieza nuestro inicio de la Asociación de Artesanos Andinos, es el año 2004, ¿no? El 24 de noviembre de 2004, me acuerdo muy bien. Para entonces era yo uno de los líderes artesanos. Desde el 2004 hasta el 2009 nos va muy bien en lo que es la artesanía, en la venta de nuestras artesanías, ¿no? O sea, ya producción hay harto de textiles. Lo que hacemos es actualmente es principalmente aguayos, caminos de mesa, individuales, carpetas, es lo que es telar del piso, ¿no? Chulos, 2009 bien, ¿no? O sea, es que había, creo, más que todo, más turismo entraba a nuestro país, ¿no? Y 2009 entra, 2006 entra nuestro líder que es indígena también, Evo Morales. Entonces de ahí creo que se ha cerrado le dieron, creo, visa para los extranjeros. Después se subió no sé qué harto significado ha debido tener el ATPDA, por ejemplo, ¿no ve? Entonces nos han cerrado, entonces por eso, digamos, un poco medio que bajó.
Well, you got to hear Don Patricio, and their accent and also their Spanish is different because their actually own language is Quechua. They also speak Aymara. Those are their original languages. So Spanish is actually their second language. And so that's why sometimes they have trouble speaking, but it's nice to hear because of their passion or what they say about it. And at the end, what Patricia said, that this handcraft sector has been actually has been beaten for some political decisions of past government that has been shut down doors, shut down the opportunity to export to United States with one of the agreements. So now we want to take you to a very special thing AnaCe prepare. It's a bonus for you. And let me see if, I don't know if AnaCe, there you go.
Yes.
AnaCe,
thank you, Patty. So this is one of our, can you hear me all? Yeah. So this is one of our bonus destinations. And this is a true, like, special place in my heart, because this is the first job I got when I returned to Bolivia. I got to work as a consultant, working so that this place, this amazing, beautiful place, becomes UNESCO Geopark, which means that it sustains its beautiful geological richness through sustainable efforts of tourism and education and etc. So as you can see, it's an amazing place. It was newly discovered. Like when I was a kid, we didn't know we had this place. So Bolivia is so magical that we're still discovering amazing places. This is a gigantic canyon that we have there. Then we have secret waterfalls that just like come out of the middle of the rock mountain. Then we have rock cities. As you can see, this looks like an elephant. If I would be standing here, I would probably be this tall. This is me inside of it. And then you also have this amazing view of the Oriental Andes. The geologists say that this is where the tectonic plates collided to form the Oriental Andes. So there's a lot of studying going on right now to confirm all these theories. But this is where the Andes start, basically. That is the bonus track. And also, besides that, there are dinosaur prints. This is actually a tiny one. They're gigantic ones. There are tiny woods, like a small, tiny trees that make up woods. This is a photographer taking a picture of them. There's also cave paintings. This is us teaching the students, the guides, how to analyze and recollect information about it. And these amazing wind formations that make up the soil. So this is our bonus destination so that you get tempted to visit Bolivia and see this amazing place. I also have to say that this place is very dear in my heart because I spent months there in and out, and I got to meet the community. And this is the place where I told you before that I saw no girl graduated from high school due to teen pregnancy. And the possibilities for getting an education are really difficult. So the opportunity to work on a sustainable project that gives jobs and education opportunities to everyone in town, it's really important. All right, so we now go to back to Patricia.
Yeah. Well, now our journey is going through the valleys or the middle high lands in Bolivia. Sorry that my English is a little rusty. It's not just nervous, but it's been 20 years since I lived in United States. And well, what I would like to say about this community that it's called Candelaria, where Don Damian and Doña Santusa are from. These are our handcrafts men and women that are very special to us. Why? Because this community, this small community, actually is confirmed by 600 inhabitants there, and 40 of them are dedicated to handcrafts. Also, these handcrafts are taught by generation by generation, and what they speak in their textiles are stories like their festivities, like popular ones as carnival, or when they do something like for the agriculture dances, or they do like offers to the Pachamama. The Pachamama is like the queen of land, is our mother earth. And that's what Pachamama means. And what they do is speak in their textiles. When they have free time, after they pretty much live like in Chuño Chuñuni, dedicating themselves doing the agriculture for their sustainability and for the self-consumption. And also they do the trading that we were explaining. But in their free time, they do these beautiful textiles that you're seeing on the screen. And these textiles talk about, for like, I think in this picture, we are seeing one of, it's not carnival. This one, I think is agriculture, but what they speak about, or they do in these arts are actually neat in 1-2 months, small ones, small pieces, and it can take them to probably 8 months to knit one of these. I think the first picture you're seeing, it's Doña Santusa knitting, maybe a story that will last 8 months knitting. So what we want you to understand about this is that handcrafts in Bolivia don't make the way of living for them. It's the way they, I mean, that's what they do for living, but it's not a dignified job for them. And their kids, their child, they see themselves in a difficult situation, because in these communities it's very, very poor. It's very precarious, and not roads developed. And actually, what I'm telling you is that it's simple life, just growing what they consume, dedicating their free time on doing these textiles. And then if they sell it, they will have an extra income, maybe to buy extra things. But what they child do is to go to the large cities, or a little bit, or larger cities than where they live from. They live to find better future. So what we are trying to do is not in this only space, but also we want handcrafts to be a high-end product. So we as consumers appreciate what these pieces are. Our unique pieces, our living culture. They tell us stories, their community stories, and stories that sometimes have very interesting teachings for us in these times. And we are seeing this, how do you say, speed growing in the world that is not, it's leading us to, I don't know, I don't want to say the end, but we kind of need to slow down in some things. And this way of appreciation of what their best practices are probably can take us back to appreciate what Mother Earth has been given to us. So we find very exciting to know these communities as a way to connect to those heritage lessons and to those kind of things. That is very interesting. We know that it's difficult. Actually, for women is the most difficult thing, because what they do with women is not, as Ana Cecilia was explaining in Toro Toro, also in this community as well, they don't have the opportunity maybe to go to school sometimes. They have to help at home. And I don't know, we see this pattern in very poor areas, not only probably in Bolivia, but also in India and on some other places. And the way of reevaluating handcrafts for what we, the way we see, is to empower these people. And probably if we are, how do you say, telling these stories to the world and having these unique places in our home, not only will be sustaining these people, but also we won't let some cultures die, and we will get some lessons from them. I want you to leave you with a small video also from Santusa. Let's share her story in a very short video.
Yeah, Patty, before we move to the video, I just wanted to mention that this textile is made by a male, and this is made by a female. So they have different techniques for male and female. And that's why it's Don Damian and Doña Santusa who's going to tell you their story. So here we go. 1 second.
Figuras. Antes son diferentes tejidos de los abuelos, ¿no? Y ahora nosotros, ¿no?, así tejemos las historias tradicionales, cómo es la historia tradicional. Hay costumbres tradicionales, carnaval, matrimonios, fiestas de Ayarich, hay unos santuarios, esos, y también en calendario, hay historia de Todos Santos, hay cuentos. Los antiguos tatás sabían esos cuentos. Eso graba en su cabeza, después sacamos el tejido. Y nosotros no. Yo personalmente no he visto una foto, nada. Es un tejido de matrimonio, es grande. Y cómo se enamora antes los jóvenes, siempre en la loma, cuando está haciendo pastear las ovejas. Aquí está la pastora, el hombre con charango. Y aquí está conquistando. Todo completo, mira. Y después tiene que pensar papá y mamá y matrimonio, ¿no? Y antes son malitos son los padres, ¿no? Como ahora.
No como ahora.
Sí, se puede votar al hombre. Y así está, mira, hay boda, la preparación, hay buscar padrinos también está aquí, arrodillando, ¿no? Y después el padrino también ya está listo, entonces ya tiene que preparar, haciendo chicha como tal, es preparación. Siempre antes utilizamos burro para que trasladamos lo que necesita, y haciendo chicha y matando un buey para la tinga, la iglesia. Solamente no hay acordeón porque antes utiliza charango y no hay ese blanco, el vino. Y antes padrino ahijada siempre tiene que poner cultura tradicional, pachamontera. Figuras. Antes son diferentes tejidos de los abuelos, ¿no? Y ahora nosotros, ¿no?, así tejemos las historias.
Sorry, I'm trying to move to the
solamente
next. I hear.
Las chicas en estos tiempos tan difíciles, y casi cuando entra el gobierno desde ese tiempo, ay, venda mucho menos, y así que no podemos vender dónde, así que por eso, por necesidad fue Santa Cruz, Argentina, donde se ha ido a trabajar las chicas, por eso ya no quiere tejer y nosotros quedamos solamente papá y mamá, pero sigue estamos tejiendo, sigue estamos utilizando la ropa típica, pero para nosotros también no hay venda y así nomás estamos, doña Pati.
Okay, these were the testimonials of Santuza and Don Damian. And well, before we go to the next region, and we would love to explain much more about them, but I know we have a very short time. I want you, AnaCe, to show them the next bonus in our trip around Bolivia.
Places. Yeah, but I have to say that Doña Santuza y Don Damian really got my heart. It was amazing to interview them. We talked to them for over an hour, and there's so much more we would like you to listen to, but time does not allow. The only thing I do want to say is that their son helped us film this, and he's a famous TikToker that teaches Quechua, which is a native language, on TikTok. So we want you to follow him. Where is it? We had it somewhere. Oh no, I don't want to spoil the. We'll send you resources. It's Carlos. We had it here. I don't know where he went.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's a TikToker and he's trying to showcase his culture through TikTok. And I think that's a generational jump that we are going to have from now on.
Solamente.
Okay, so I'm taking you to the next bonus destination, which is the Uyuni Salt Flats, the Salar de Uyuni. And I'm really excited because I'm heading there in 2 weeks. So we have in Bolivia the world's largest salt flat. It's about 10,000 square kilometers. It's 3,600 meters above sea level, which it's about close to 12,000 feet. It's amazing because it has 50% of the world's lithium reserve, and that gets very political. If you can imagine, lithium helps and serves for batteries, cell phones, laptops, etc. And so there's a lot of controversy and contingency about what's going to be done in our salt desert about that. It's composed by 32 islands of corals and stromatolites. I don't know how to pronounce that. This is an island. Let me show you with this. So this is what an island looks like. It also has this gigantic cacti that they grow like about a centimeter a year, and they're gigantic. So that means that they have been here for centuries. And it used to be a lake, a prehistoric lake that then, you know, I cannot explain all the chemical, all the conditions that make it happen, but it evaporates and it recreates salt, and it's slowly expanding. So they say that soon it's going to be all over the town that it's nearby. It's also an amazing place because it's surrounded by dormant volcanoes and volcanic formations of when the volcanoes long time ago erupted and created these amazing formations. It's also used to calibrate all the altimeters of Earth observation satellites. So for some reason, the conditions, the altitude, and the vastness of it allows for satellites to be calibrated. So we get a lot of foreigners to come, foreign countries, and do that. The sky that you see in the salt desert, it's indescribable. You can see way past the Milky Way. And this is the dry season where you can see the hectagons that form. And then this is the wet season. When it rains, it becomes a gigantic mirror. So I invite you to come and see this bonus destination for our journey through Bolivia. Patty, back to you.
Thank you, AnaCe. I hope you're enjoying as much as we're doing, explaining about our country and culture and living culture. That was this storytelling about. And now we want to take you to the llanos, the plains of San Miguel de Velasco, that it's called the Chiquitanía. Probably you heard about Chiquitanía because 2 years ago we had a big fire in the Amazonic lands, and that we share the borders with Brazil, and these regions are in part of this Amazonic area. So this San Miguel de Velasco, it's a very, very nice place to go, and also San Miguel. But I'm sorry, San Miguel de Velasco and San Ignacio. They have a variety of handcrafts, but as we explain about textiles, in this region, we want to explain about the handcrafts in wood. The handcraftsmen learned about this technique by the Jesuit missions that have been late 1600s, in the 1600th century. They arrive in these regions and they conquer a little bit of territory there, and people learned about the Baroque style and the music and all that. That's why you're seeing there a chapel that it's worked. They have curving by hand by the handcraftmen, local handcraftmen, and are amazing sculptures there. They still do the religious sculptures, but now they learn to produce utility and decorative products. These curved religious figures are also exported to Brazil. I got the opportunity to see one of the handcraftsmen making a piece, actually human size, that you will see in one of the pictures in our next video that is going to be very short. But here in San Miguel, also life is not very easy. They are 9 hours away from Santa Cruz City, that is one of the capitals of the plains in our country, 9 hours away by bus. And they don't have a very big infrastructure. It's probably you get to 1 or 2 days get to see the most of the city and know more about their culture and the way of living and things like that. In 2 days, it's not too big. And what we most like about this is the people is very, very warm and full of colors, and different from the Andean region. They speak in one of the regions of nearby the Chiquitanía Guarani, more in the south zone, that it's in the Chaco, probably in the border with Paraguay. But in this area, it could be also Portuguese and Spanish. And now their activity combined with the handcrafts are the cows growing. I mean, the farm. They are farmers, and that's their main economic activity. And they are more businessmen than the other handcraftmen or artisans in the other regions. This region actually is being now exploded by Russians and also Chinese, and it's very controversial also. And Ana Cecilia and myself, we will have some summary at the end, but we will see that how is this life changing in these areas as well, because of these other economic activities have been, kind of like developing the areas, and probably I don't want to say forgiving what they used to do as traditional arts, but also, but yes, as I'm telling you, in the Candelaria region, also people are not making the living out of handcrafts. So that's why they are moving their activity, or their main activity has to be these farm activities they have in the area. Okay, and so we want you to see this small video that we captured with some of the pictures visiting these artisans. And Also, what I explained about the San Miguel de Velasco, but also we will explain another association that has 14 communities that are located also in the area of the plains, and you will see the variety of products also from them. This sculpture was the human size sculpture. These wood pieces are commercialized there in their town, but now in our stores you can find the utility products, because the decorative maybe are a kind of old-fashioned ones. Now you get to see Juan Carlos painting these pieces.
Juan Carlos es pintor de Urubicha. Él pinta las distintas piezas, por ejemplo, como la que es un tallado que viene de la Asociación de los Talladores de San Miguel de Velasco.
Yo aquí llegué a la ciudad de Santa Cruz, aquí al taller hace 2 años atrás. Empecé a trabajar aquí en Hortecampo, taller de Santa Cruz, ¿no? A pintar todo lo que es madera, tallado de madera. Ese tallado de madera viene directamente de San Miguel de Velasco. Más antes pintaba otro tipo de diseño. Allí en mi pueblo aprendí a pintar y ya cuando llegué acá a la ciudad empecé a pintar todo lo que es tallado. Bueno, este arbolito, si yo pinto uno, tardo 1 día y medio para pintar, para terminar todo el producto pintado. Si casi me da unos 3, o sea, como lo pueden ver aquí, ya 2 semanas casi. Porque es un poco difícil para pintar. Cuando yo era niño empecé a trabajar allá en Urubichao.
Well, you heard Juan Carlos. He was explaining that when he was a kid, he learned how to paint these handcrafts. That's what the most of the kids do on their free time there. What AnaCe was showing you now, this is one of the textiles that it's common in the plains. Are textiles made out of vegetable, or organic, and also this kind of plant that you're seeing in this picture is garabata, and they make this yarn that you're seeing. It's not a yarn, but it's like a hard cotton texture, and they produce this little bag, or it could be also big bags, to carry their markets. Well, I won't say buy-ins, but exchanges, and also we in fashion can wear it as a purse, you know, and crossover purse. And you also can find ceramics. You also can find handcrafts made out of seeds, also from palm trees, that it's called sunca. It's one of the palm trees, how do you say, traditional from these plains areas, and they produce nativities, some dolls, and they also use some other organic materials, raw materials. That's the beauty of our country. It's very varied, and alpacas and our camelids are also one of the raw materials they use now. At the beginning used to be handcrafts to find the scarves made out of alpaca wools, but now are fashionable and wearable things that you can have from our territory. We have one more slide that we would like to share.
Yes, so I have to say that this has been an amazing experience to prepare for this presentation, and also a difficult one because we had to take out so many things due to time. You know, there's also the Oruro Carnival, and we have tons of videos and amazing pictures of it, but I'm going to leave it again as a teaser so that you want to come. But yes, know that in our conclusions, it's exactly that. I mean, we are still a country that not a lot of people know about because of its diversity and living culture. There is so much more to discover. Like I said, Toro Toro was only like discovered, or well, it was discovered in the 70s, but it didn't become a tourist attraction until maybe 10 years ago. You know, we are still discovering amazing new places, and there is so much, but we want to do it responsibly. We need to rethink our way of living. and pursue sustainability as a main principle of life. And we say this because we see how we're going back to, and I think Pat is going to talk more about this, but we're going back to how we used to cultivate the potato next to the habas, because that specifically creates an environment that would foster the cultivation, and you can survive due to that, and you don't need to travel far to get your food. But I wanted to make a point here, which is very important in my heart, because I work for, especially for gender equality. And as you can see, there's a transversal situation in terms of gender. We cannot forget about this. We cannot forget about our class differences. We cannot forget about rural versus urban. We cannot forget about indigenous versus more occidentalized or, modern ways of living. We need to consider this all, but we need to go back to sustainable ways of living.
Yeah, thank you, AnaCe. And well, this travel, and I hope you get to see that living cultures, not only in Bolivia but around the world, are reminders of things that might be disappearing. And I'm not talking about the textiles and handcrafts, but also principles of life, and the caring of what we have in nature. What AnaCe is saying is that we want to do the responsible way. And that is what, for instance, you're seeing there. It's a picture of these camelids that you're seeing right now are vicuñas. Vicuñas are savage, exotic animals from the Andes that are in extinction, or used to be in extinction for 40 years ago. And we made agreements with our neighbors, Chile, Argentina, Peru, and Bolivia. So we keep the vicuñas alive. Are animals that are being before the Spanish colonized us. And these animals don't take too much for living. I mean, we don't need to raise these animals with a special, for instance, diet, and they don't do harm to the environment, like comparing to the Cachemira goats. And that's what we want you to think about, to be very conscious when you buy something. Learn from where it comes from and what it takes to get to you. And that was our purpose also, to take you to these cultures, to be in their way of living, in their way of having it hard way to keep things alive, to keep the ecosystem stable. We know there are things that we need to change, but that we know that there's things that we need to recover from the past to keep on living. We have one of the beautiful laws in Bolivia that is called the Mother Earth Law, where we speak about this how do you say, the ecosystem, stable way of living, like between nature and humans and all that. And we want you to learn more about Bolivia. We want you to discover these sustainable principles in these indigenous cultures, in our culture, and the way we live here. And so we invite you to come, AnaCe.
Yes, we invite you to come. We invite you to, I think it's in English is more conscious consuming, or consume consciously. I'm not sure if I put that correctly. But also to visit Bolivia, as Don Patricio said, I know the pandemic makes it a little difficult. So we understand it's not going to be like right away, but we really think we need more people to learn about our country, to visit us and to explore it in a responsible way, understanding where things come from, revaluing our traditional culture, not asking for, oh no, that shouldn't, that's not worth. That actually happens a lot within our culture, that we ask for our artisans to give us their product at a lower prices. And we really want to change that. We want to value the time that it has taken to do all the work. And anyways, we want to thank you so much for accompanying us in this journey. I want to thank Common Ground. You know how much I love it and miss it. Common Ground changed my life, and I wanted to leave it documented in this YouTube video, that it really opened my eyes to so many cultures all around the world. And that's why it was so important for me to be here today and get the opportunity to also show you mine. I want to thank Patty, who, she joined me in this journey. She's the expert in these traditional arts, but that's what's important when you connect and network with people that are doing amazing work, all the things you can do together. So thank you again to everyone. And I really hope to see you in person soon. Walt, back to you, hippie boss.
There we go. Wow. Well, we can't thank you, the dynamic duo, enough. You all make a great team, and your photographs were just amazing. And I had no idea that Bolivia was such a treasure trove of wild places. Amazing. And people can
they're
learn.
all ours, Walt. All pictures are ours.
That's what I heard. Yeah. So
no internet.
No internet. And were they cell phone pictures or are they camera?
Both.
Both. Really beautiful. And the photograph of the night scene, of looking up at the night sky, that's unbelievable.
Except that one. That one I couldn't get. That one was made.
Oh, so that one was fake.
Yeah,
but I have mine.
No, it's real.
Okay.
It's
Great.
real, but I can't say that one's mine. You're right. There was one exception, that one in particular. But yeah, it's an amazing, I mean, if there's any place you can go, it's the salt desert.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And when you say that there are places that you're still discovering, mean they were unknown to human beings or unknown to sort of majority culture?
I would say unknown as a touristic destination, which is better. But for example, in Toro, where I worked for the first year, there's only one cavern that you come down to with extolites and streamlolites. I don't know how you say that. But when we went with the geologist, we know that there are more than 36 that haven't been explored.
Wow.
So yeah, so there's so much to discover. And some people from the area know it, but it's just, and some of the pictures you saw, actually, that's not the things that the tourists see when they go to Toro today. I was very fortunate to be in this, expedition and working in this project, that I got to go with the geologist and archaeologist and really see these amazing places. So the fear, I think, with me is that, I saw in Toro especially how it became so popular. Everybody wanted to see the dinosaur footprints or the cavern, and they started like graffitiing inside the cavern. And and you didn't have restrictions to get close to the dinosaur footprint, so they were walking all over, taking full pictures. And so I think I'm okay with taking it slow and making sure that once we open up all these amazing places, we do it responsibly, caringly, and we don't damage it. And I think that's what we need to work on. But we do have a lot more to discover.
Wow, that's fascinating. Well, if people want to learn more, they can come to the Search for Common Ground class tomorrow at 4:00, where the dynamic duo will be appearing once again. And we can't thank you enough. For those of you who are watching this out of real time, some of you may be watching this a year from now. You won't be able to come to the Search for Common Ground class. But if you're watching this in real time, you can come to the Search for Common Ground class. And thank you so much, AnaCe and Patricia. Amazing as always. And we look forward to seeing you back here in the States. You should bring Patricia with you and have her bring her creations up to New York, maybe, and or maybe just Westminster. And we look forward to visiting you in Bolivia. I think I'm going to put that on my bucket list. Yeah. Well, take care and
Right.
thank you so much. And thanks to everyone who worked to make this happen. And Phil Spees, our engineer. And we will see you all tomorrow at the Search for Common Ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Common Ground, and thank you, AnaCe.
Thank you, everyone.